Thanks for coming, Steve.
Thank you. You're welcome. A great privilege. When did you actually get involved in pigeons, then, Richard?
I got involved in pigeons in 1984. Miners' strike were on. My dad were a miner at Frickley Colliery at South Hempsall. Money was short. My sister were a talented flute player, so money was spent on her, really, having flute lessons, and there weren't much money around for me, and I was younger. So my dad took me to see his friends' pigeons come from a race. That bloke was Jack Udall of South Hempsall, who were flying exceptionally well at the time with his Carl Herman pigeons and Joseph van der Weer pigeons. So taken along, watched a race. I'd got no real concept of pigeons at all. And from that, me and my dad sort of got bugged. We used to go up to Jack's every Saturday. And obviously we were learning as we were going along, and we spent a year up at Jack's. My dad started helping him with training, and at the end of that year Jack proposed that he'd give us some broken pigeons and we'd start with his own racing. That's how we started. So 1985 was his first year racing in the South Hempsall Club, which at the time were a very hard club to win. Some top sprint men in that area, and in his first race we won a third prize, which was a good achievement with a broken pigeon.
Before we go on to all your feeding systems and training methods and that, what actually clubs do you fly in at this moment in time at Worksop?
In Worksop at the time there were 4 clubs. We're now down to 2 clubs in Worksop that fly in the Nottinghamshire South Road Fed, and 1 club that flies in the Derbyshire Fed. I asked a couple of local fanciers, good local fanciers, who were the best flyer locally, and a guy called T. Smith kept getting mentioned. So it was my ambition to fly against this bloke, because you want to fly against best fancies to see how good you are. And I found out that he were in 2 clubs. One of them were very local to me at this present address, so that's the club I chose to join, which were Stanley Street Sports and Social, which were in the Derbyshire Federation, sending roughly about 3,000 pigeons a week. So I joined that club. That club is now finished, and I applied to another local club, but I was unsuccessful to get membership to that, which would have kept me in the Derbyshire Federation. We work commitments, I work days and afters, so really it's very difficult to travel to another club any distance sort of thing. So I ended up joining Manton, which are members of the Nottingham South Road Federation. Roughly send about 1,000 pigeons, 1,600 pigeons per week. And that's the club I'm fed that I'm flying in at the moment. I am a member of Whitwell, who are in Derbyshire Fed, but obviously with travelling commitments I can't really get there. I'm a member of the Northern Classic, which I joined last year. I'm a member of Midlands National, and next year I'll join the big national, and hopefully that's what I'm trying to do now. I'm trying to go for more distance races rather than concentrating on sprint that I've done for the last few years.
Right, that's very good. Richard, could you actually tell me, I mean obviously 2011 was an extreme season, and the actual season for 2012 is just basically going through the roof. Can you, the Not South Road Federation for 2011, weren't you the Ice Prize winner?
Well, what it is, they have a point system in Federation. So if you can think that the first Federation bird gets 20 points, down to the 20th pigeon getting a point. So you accumulate these points over the season. When they're at the water races, there's also an inland race as well. So I set out to have a good go at that Federation. Really, I doubted myself because a lot of members are to east of me and one at most westerly flyers. So these points were racked up each week, and I ended up season, I was 256 points clear of any other member in the Federation, so I did have a good year.
I know, definitely. I can remember being the guest of honour that night, Richard, and obviously I could remember you being Premier Prize winner of the Federation, which was, I think there were two clubs and 1 Federation and 1 club all on the same night, and I were asked to be guest of honour,
right,
and
Steve,
that's when I could remember you were Ice Prize winner, so obviously you've mentioned all the members and what have you. Northern Classic, I do believe last year you'd only just started having a go at it, and Saintes was a phenomenal season, sending only 2 pigeons. Your famous pigeon named after champion racing horse, I would imagine, is called Frankel, and he'd won 11 firsts up to that. And I can remember seeing the result from 2 entries. He was second open, beat with 1 yard a minute at 523 miles on the day. And I know you said earlier at the time that you were concentrating more for Northern Classic for 2012, which they've had 3 races up to this moment in time. Can you explain the first race, which were Carentan, the next race Messac and Saintes, and all the positions what you've won against these actual Midland National winners what fly in the same competition, Rich?
Yeah, like I said earlier, I've always been sprint orientated. The area I come from, everybody was sprint mad. Nobody were really interested in water racing, so I've been brainwashed with sprinting. But I've found out now that it's a lot of work for little reward. So my idea in 2011 was to have a go at channel flying. I sent to the first Northern Classic race and I sent 6 pigeons. I had 3 drop together, timed within a second of each other, and I was 26th, 27th and 28th open. The next race I sent 4 pigeons, I was 20th open, and then obviously I sent the 2 to Saintes, and I was fortunate enough to win first section, second open, with my pigeon that I call Frankel. So this year I really set my stall out and I delayed a lot of my preparation and geared it up for the Northern Classic races. The first race I sent 15 pigeons to, and I got a blue hen, which is a daughter of Frankel, come. She was with another pigeon actually when she dropped, so I did think I was going to get pushed in that race because I was hearing a few times and I thought I'd got a good one, but with this other pigeon going over, you know, you have to verify your pigeons on ETS, and with the clocking you don't sort of find them out till a couple of days later, so I were always sceptical there were another pigeon that could possibly beat her, but fortunate enough I did win it and I won it clear. I was 20-something yards in front. I think I also got 8th open as well at that first one. Then the second race, which was a fortnight later, was another dream race really. I sent 15 again, and I won it again, this time a little bit closer. There were only a yard in it, and then I picked a few positions up that day. Can't tell you exactly off the top of my head.
I can remember, obviously I've not got a bad memory, Richard, and looking in the fancy press of the British Homing world, the actual Carentan race, you was 1st, 8th, 12th and 17th open, but the Messac race was phenomenal. You was 1st, 3rd, 4th, 9th open, and I do believe 19th open.
Yeah, that's
and that was your first 5 pigeons, which were outstanding.
So then we went to the Saintes race, and it weren't for faint-hearted. There were quite a few organisations at Saintes that day, and it were a tough race. Listening to people further down on line of flight, they weren't getting the pigeons. I did time one in, which was 13 hours 48 minutes, and it were a yearling hen. She'd actually got 12th at one of the previous Northern Classic races. So I think there were 10 or 11 pigeons on day, and there were 9th open. But the next morning I were at work, so the ETS system were left rolling, and I got about 4 pigeons just after 7 o'clock, and they all featured as well in the top 25 in open, so they weren't far away on day.
Fantastic, and at 523 miles,
yeah.
Obviously it's a great achievement, Richard. That's brilliant, thank you.
Cheers, Steve.
Right then, Richard, obviously, when your birds come back from the race on a Saturday, what product would you be using? Seed-wise or comb-wise, any of these 4 products on the table, which one would you be using first?
I'd be using this one, just to give them a little bit of food after they've come back from race. Nothing, not a big meal out, just a couple of hands full per pigeon. And it's the natural diet mix.
Right.
One at cheaper brand mix to the diet. I always try to go with cheaper ones, fly to your pocket, but it's equally as good as any other one. And they'll just get a couple, maybe half an handful per pair of pigeons. The second set of hens that are looking in on the first set of hens, they're moved into a separate section, and they'll also receive the same amount, just to take an edge off them, just give them a little bit in the stomach. Obviously they haven't been fed from the Friday morning after a race, so it's usually Saturday dinner time. A little bit of an handful of that seed just to give them something.
Just on return to put a little bit of something back.
Yeah.
And then in the main meal you'd have a set probably time. Would it be tea time?
About 5 o'clock. I usually make sure all pigeons have been separated. The cocks go back into their aviary on back, and the hens go into their section, and then they'll receive the last meal of the day on a Saturday, which will be the BJ's Farm #1, which is peas, beans and tares. Very high in protein, to put protein back into the system at bird. Just like any kind of athlete or bodybuilder, if they've done a strenuous exercise, they need protein back in the body to build them back up. It also puts the drop-ins back quick as well. They come back, they've got lactic acid built up inside them. It just soaks everything up and just bonds, gives a good bond. It's full of fibre, just to get that stomach back to how it should be.
Very good, Richard. Any particular liquid form or anything in the water on that same day of Saturday evening?
On Saturday in water, returning from a race, they'd have the Aviform Ultimate. It's a 7-in-1 product. So same again, there's a lot of your different vitamins in it. There's also electrolytes in it as well. It also helps with worms, canker and cocci, it's a water sanitizer as well, so anything bad that's in water, it'd actually kill it off.
What's the dosage of that?
Dosage on that is 5 ml to half a litre, so a pint. So it's 5 ml to a pint.
Yeah, very good. Right, we'll go on to Sunday morning then. Obviously, do your birds exercise at all?
No, never let them out on a Sunday. Sunday's family day. We usually go off that day, so they're fed early morning, water changed.
Do you have any particular time every Sunday? Is it a set time, or does it just work around the family?
Yeah, just works around family.
So what would you be, any of these products, what would you be feeding them on a Sunday morning, Richard? What
Sunday morning, same again, an high protein mix.
BJ Farms number one?
BJ Farms number one in the morning. Water, just be plain water on a Sunday morning. And then Sunday tea time when we come back from wherever we've been, if we've been out, they'll then get a good feed of the diet mix.
So no number one Sunday,
no more.
Just back onto your diet.
Saturday night, Sunday morning, the race birds don't see that again.
Right.
It's just to put the proteins back into them.
Everything for the muscle repair, yeah.
Yeah. So then they go on to the diet.
As much as they can eat, roughly.
As much as they can eat, but it says diet, but it's the opposite, isn't it, Steve?
Got a lot of fats in it.
It's fats, isn't it, really? You're putting fats back on, and I want them bodies to start filling back out again.
Yeah.
They'd have that then on a Monday morning.
So obviously it's all clear water on Sunday, AM, PM, yeah?
Yeah.
Monday morning, yeah?
Monday morning, a light feed of the diet. Always a light feed on a morning, a heavier feed, or a larger feed on a PM. On a night
but
time.
Obviously
same again, it'd be the diet on an evening as well.
Obviously you've mentioned your days and afters alternative weeks, so if say you're on the day shift, you'd have to go in after 5 before you start work at 6 and just put it in an hopper,
go down early morning. Pigeons are drove into Avery's, and a small amount would be placed into an hopper, which I know they'd clear up as soon as it broke light.
Right, very good. So now PM on Monday.
PM Monday, same again. They'll get the diet again.
Any exercise at all Mondays?
They'll be out on a Monday. Just one exercise period due to work commitments. I'm not. If I can get an hour out, and I'm happy on a Monday.
And to just be continuous diet?
Yeah, continuous diet on a Monday.
What about anything in the water on a Monday,
No,
Richard?
clean again. Nothing in.
Tuesday AM then now? Obviously.
Tuesday AM, diet again. Small amount again. Not a big feed at all, just something to take the hunger off them during the day. And then a large feed again at night.
So it's just diet again, Tuesday night? But basically what they can eat?
Yeah.
Any water solutions? Nothing Tuesday?
No.
No grits or anything like that?
No, there's grit. I always put an handful of grit in, and then it's cleaned up when I clean next day.
What particular grits do you use?
Just either natural or vessel lager.
So it's a good brand?
Yeah, a good brand of a mixed grit.
Right, so what we're on now, Wednesday morning?
Wednesday morning, same again. The diet on the morning. The only difference then is the Primalax added to the water, which is a probiotic.
Yep.
Developed in America for the chicken industry and turkey industry, where the farmers were using mega antibiotics all the time. The birds were still ill, so they created this product. Antibiotics, like we said, they were using a lot of antibiotics. Anti speaks for itself. It's anti-something. It's anti-good bugs. Pro, which is probiotics, pro is for good bugs in the stomach. And I'm after the stomachs being well. If the stomachs are well, the droppings are well, the internal workings at pigeons are well. It's a small spoon which is inside the Primalac, so it's quite cost effective as well. So you've got one of these small scoops, and that will make up a gallon of water. So one of these will last me a season.
Right.
Okay.
It's powerful then if that little scoop's doing a gallon.
Yeah, so that does a gallon.
Right.
Okay.
Very good, Richard, that. So, obviously, you've outlined the water. What about the PM feed?
PM feed would then go on to a full widowwood mix. And what I like to do, I like to mix 2 widowwood corns together from 2 different companies.
What companies would you be using?
So this one is Vessel Lager Sublime Sport and Natural Maxi, Pro Maxi.
Mixed 50-50?
50-50 mixed, yeah. I usually buy about 6 bags at start of season and mix the lot, and I've got a place that holds corn, a big hopper, so it's mixed together and it's stayed in there. I buy all my corn at start of season, so it's the same batch, the same brand, because as the seasons go on, the different grains that they're getting into these food companies, they might be slightly different. I don't want to knock the pigeons off, I want them eating the same food.
Same batch that year, because there's different corns, different fruits of the years. You want it that. If you buy it for that year, it's the exactly same.
Yeah, that's it. So I buy me 6 bags at start at season, 12 bags mixed together, and then it's kept into a big food hopper.
So do on this on, is it Wednesday?
Wednesday
PM.
Wednesday PM, Thursday AM, Thursday AM, Thursday PM, Friday we'll go back onto diet mix.
Just diet alone?
Just diet alone, because what I found is when you've given them this Wednesday and Thursday I'll give them as much food as they can eat on the Thursday night. I'll put as much as I can get into them. I'll keep adding extra little bits to them. I'll go back half an hour, add some more, and they'll just keep eating. They're packed out. I found if I put that in on a Friday, they wouldn't eat it.
Yeah.
But this one, the diet is like sweets to them. It's like chocolate. Yeah, they'll eat that all day long till it's coming out of their ears.
Usually, once your widowwoods are super fit and
Yeah.
right,
Yeah.
they'll not eat much on a Friday anyway.
Exactly.
So what you're doing, you're packing them extra little sweets, which is fats anyway,
Yeah.
to keep them eating. It's like peanuts. If pigeons like peanuts, they'll eat them any time of
Yeah,
day.
exactly.
So you're just keeping it there, keeping it.
Yeah.
It's a form of fats and energy. So once the trap lets loose on a Saturday, you've got that.
Yeah. It's like it's like equivalent to blowing a balloon up, and you can feel pigeons. They've come back. The body. I want the bodies to have worked off a bit. That means they've given something in race, yeah. And basically, it's like blowing a balloon up, and you want that balloon on a Friday, just ready. So when you touch it on a Saturday morning, it blows up.
It's exploded.
Yeah?
It's gone.
So you want them buoyant, but you want the muscle there as well. But you need to be light.
Right.
And by feeding this way on a Thursday, by loading them up, because that's full of carbohydrates, yeah.
Yeah.
You'll have heard different programmes on about athletes and that talk about carb loading. Pigeons are exactly the same, and I used to give them that on a Friday morning. They'd never eat it. So I thought, what's the only way I can get them to eat? And the only way I could get them to eat was by reintroducing the fats on a Friday morning. If you don't get them to eat on a Friday morning, that's nearly 24 hours without food, and then you're expecting them to race on it.
Yeah,
well, they're just not going to perform, are
And
they?
if you're doing these extreme distances, say from in France, sorry, they're going to need that exert energy plus
Exactly.
it's got to be there to fly up to 12 hours
Yeah.
or even more than that.
Yeah. So then on a Friday morning they'd have this, but on a Thursday night I would use the TS6 Plus, which is a Bax product. Same again, it's full of probiotics, but it's good for gut. Okay, there's vitamins and everything in that. It's a great product. But if you make it up on the Thursday night, it increases. It like sort of like grows really. So it's a live thing. So when you put it in, it's just growing. Whereas if I just did it on the Friday morning and mixed it, there's not going to be something like 1 million and odd particles are produced overnight with this one. So you need to do it on the Thursday night, but then put it into the water on a Friday morning.
I've got you.
So that's the TS6 Plus.
What dosage is that, Rich? Obviously it'll tell you in.
It's all in German and Dutch. There's no English writing on, but it's a scoop again. It's a white powder, and it's one of them to 2 litres.
Right. Very good. What I have noticed though, Richard, on this system, what you've basically just told me, I think that'll be more to your sprint system.
Yeah.
Right, we want to know now, this is once, you could probably use it using the same grains,
Yeah.
but you haven't mentioned this one yet, Richard.
Well, that's for young birds, Steve, that one.
When we go to young birds. Right,
Yeah.
we're going to channel racing now.
Yeah.
So obviously we'll be basketing, where you're telling us this is a lot for Friday basketing,
yeah.
for sprinting. When we're basketing
Yeah.
for up to say 400 mile or 380 mile, you would be basketing on a Thursday morning. or whatever.
That's
so
right.
You obviously that I would have thought would have to be more heavier early on in the week. Can you explain what you do to extreme channel performances?
Yeah.
Or even if you're flying Saints, remember you'll be going Wednesday, which is the 523 mile.
So what I'd do for that, say there were a channel race coming forward, the Saturday night they'd get that.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
On the Sunday and Monday they'd have that with the diet 50-50.
So you've got your
there's more
fats and protein combined, yeah.
Exactly. And then I'd move on to that a day earlier. So instead of them getting that on a Wednesday night, they'd have that on a Tuesday night. So I've just fetched it forward.
You've just fetched it forward, but you're getting more protein straight away, and then continue with the 50% with it to keep everything there for the bodies for the distance.
Yeah.
So that's very good, that, Richard. Not only that, you did mention you used to be a very heavy trainer with old birds. But now you don't train as often now, because when you were sprinting, you were training more often, for
I fed a lot lighter
and training harder. Yeah. So that they were after them traps and all.
And there were no weight on them at all. When I'm sending them to the channel now, they're quite.
What you're doing now, you're leaving, and not only that, you're only exercising them once a day due to your work commitments. Yeah. So you've got your pigeons, all the reserves are there. You don't need as much. You don't need as much training that. You've got a fresh pigeon. You're using your Saturday races for your preparation to just give them short Buckinghams when your channel races
Buckingham and Newbury, you've got like a 92-mile race or 132-mile race.
So you're not taking too much off them, and you're keeping the reserves there for future channel racing.
The good thing in not South Road Fed is when they're at the channel, which I don't send to their channel programme, I can also keep my other pigeons going because they have an inland programme every single week.
It's only 90 mile,
and when they're at channel, they're at a 90-odd mile race, so I can still keep my pigeons ticking over, which suits the end system. Because that's fun if you leave them for a week and they haven't been for a fortnight, that's when they do start to look at each other. So they're not South Road Fed's perfect for me to prepare my ends for forthcoming races.
Right then, Richard, obviously that's very good of you. We'll go on to young bird system. Does it differ anything in time-wise? Obviously, it's got to be somewhat similar because you're...
it's somewhat similar, but obviously when they're weaned onto the BJ's number one, they probably have that for a month from weaning. Nothing else. Until they start perching, which, I'm in no rush to push youngsters at all. So they'll go on to BJ's number one, probably be on that for 4 weeks. And then I'll put them on still to an high protein mix, but you've got a little bit of your seeds, what's out of your diet. And this one's the Junior UK Breed and Wean. It used to be the Junior UK, but Vessel Lager have rebranded its name. And it's Junior UK Breed and Wean.
Is that Vessel Lager product?
That's Vessel Lager corn, yeah. And the youngsters will stay on that up to 4 weeks before the first young bird race. So last week I changed the corn, because I'm not going to intend in sending the next 2 weeks. I've missed last week's race as well, and the first young bird race were cancelled due to bad weather. So what I've done now is they're having a 50-50 between the Junior UK Breed and Wean and the Vessel Lager Sublime Sport and the Natural Pro Maxi. So they're having a 50-50 of those. I also supplement that with an AM feed of a couple of handsful of the diet corn.
Yep.
When I come up to racing, they're having a few handful of this on a morning, just take the appetite off them, and then they have a mixture of 50-50 of these two, up until Friday. On a Friday, they have the same as my old pigeons, they just have the diet mix on a Friday, just to fill them up with fats. Basically, I feed them very, very similar, apart from they gain a bit more protein, the youngsters. They've been on darkness system. They need the protein to replenish all the new feathers that's come through, and I just like to keep them working hard, they're training hard, so I think they just need a little bit more protein.
You just took words out of my mouth, actually. I was going to say, because you train very hard 3 times a week with youngsters, and sometimes up to 80 miles a day, you need that more protein.
Exactly.
For the actual
what I would
work
say is when I am training, especially at them distances, obviously there's no loft exercise around now. In water, routinely, the youngsters get the Primalac twice a week, and they also have a week where they have a day of the...
What days do you give them this?
There's no hard and fast rules, but I like to give it them the same day as the old birds have them, so they'll get it on a Wednesday, sometimes get them on a Saturday as well. And it's a good product because it'll mix with anything else as well, Steve, so if I do give them the ultimate, that can go in with it and mix it in, and it's no detriment to either product. They mix with each other.
That's very good, that, Richard. Thank you.